today's topic that we're going to talk about on the way to work is it's going to be a little bit more personal. It's going to be about Haley and I and how we met, and I'm going to have her do one of these so she can put in her input. I'm sure her what she remembers is going to be a little bit different than what I remember. So we first met when we were probably 7. Our families went down to Myrtle Beach together, and we kind of like were talking, dating, I guess, like little kid dating. Wasn't really dating. And then I don't know, you know how it goes. We went to different schools. We had a fun week, as fun as 2 7-year-olds can have, I guess. And then kind of just moved on from there. We've always been close. We've always been friends. Like even if I was talking to somebody else, Haley was always there for me, no matter what. So then, and I think she was in 8th grade. I don't know. She was in 8th grade. I was in 9th grade. And we were dating for a little bit. Things got complicated. She was a little bit younger than me. She wasn't in high school yet. So I'm gonna fast forward a couple years. Get to 12th grade. The senior year. I've been dating this girl for a while. We break up right before our senior ball, and I'm like, I really need somebody to go with. I don't want to go alone. I have been talking to Haley. She's, like I said, we've been close since we were little, so she's like always a friend of mine. And then so I'm like, okay, I'll text her dad, because her dad and I are really close, and I'll ask him if it's okay if I ask her out to my senior ball. So obviously he says yes. I text her, I ask her, the cheesy text. I didn't even call her and ask her in person. So I text her, she says yes. It was fun. We went to senior ball. I don't want a serious relationship right then and there. So we're friends. We just keep talking the rest of the summer. I end up dating somebody else at the end of the summer and all through college, my first year of college, I should say. And it comes to like the last 3 months, and Haley and I are talking like we always do. We're just texting each other. Now my mom told me that she didn't have a date to her prom. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll ask her, see what's in her mindset. So I was texting her, I was asking her, I hear you don't have a date, do you want to go with anybody? She said, I don't know. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go with you if you want. I'll be more than happy to go with you. So she's like, okay, I'll think about it. About a couple weeks passed, she says, yeah, let's go. So I get home in May. Her prom is like in 2 months, so I'm kind of in a rush to get my tux. I go over to her house, and this was in 2012. It was May 2012. 2 days after I got back from college, my first year of college, we started dating. I asked her out. We went to a play, but we started dating, and it kind of just snowballs from there. Go to prom. We have an awesome time. Just go through the whole summer. We don't really do anything extraordinary. We just, hang out and go out on dates and fun stuff like that. And then, let's see if this person's gonna cut me off. Nope. So, the start of her senior year, we're still dating. I don't know, her school didn't allow outsiders. Oh, hang on, I got the police checkpoint. So, as I was saying, start of her senior year, we were just hanging out all the time, as much as we can. She's not, they're not allowed to bring people to their dances, so she does pretty much her whole senior year by herself, like at school functions. So then her prom comes around, we go to her prom. It was fun. I drove there. So, we get through her whole school year, we go to prom, her senior prom together, and everything's good, we just keep going. And in April that year, we went to Florida. Her sister had a softball tournament down there for a whole week. So I skipped a week of college and went down there for her spring break and went to her sister's softball games, pretty much hung out in Disney the whole week, and it was awesome. It was the first time we like spent a whole week together, like 24/7, and it was amazing. And that's kind of where I knew that I wasn't going anywhere. She was going to be there the rest of my life, and I was happy with it, and I'm really still really happy with it. And so we get through the summer. She starts college. She goes to the local college, so we see each other all the time. We go to fire department stuff together, banquets, bonfires, everything. It just starts going smoothly. It comes to the next April, we both take off from college and go down to Myrtle Beach. So this is Myrtle Beach 2015. Now, this is the part she doesn't know. Well, she might know a little bit about. 2-3 weeks before, I approached her dad. I said, hey, listen, I want to talk to you. So I go over there, I sit down, I'm nervous as all hell. I'm worse than I've ever been. And so we sit down and I'm talking to her dad and I'm telling him, listen, I really want to marry your daughter. She is the most important thing in my life, always going to be the most important thing in my life. And I don't want to change that anytime. So he's like, okay, typical dad stuff. Are you sure? How are you going to be able to take care of her? And like, just the typical dad stuff you ask when you ask to marry his daughter. So obviously he says yes, and we get down to Myrtle Beach. Now remember, this is where we first, the first vacation we ever took together. Like really, the first time we started to get to know each other. We were 7, but still, and so we're down there the whole week. We drive down ourselves. Her parents drove down a couple days before. I couldn't get enough time off to go like the weekend, so we went. They left Friday. We didn't leave till Monday or Tuesday, so they were there a couple days before us, and so we drive down there all day. It was awesome. We had so much fun, singing our heads off in the car, and it was amazing. So, in the meantime, I have the ring stashed in the trunk of my car with the wheel because all of our suitcases are back there. So I know she's gonna go back there. It's with the spare wheel. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose this. It's gonna fall out. I'm not gonna be able to find it when it comes time. So we get down there, get all of our bags inside. I double check, make sure it's still there. It's still there. So we start, just having fun the whole weekend at the beach, going to our sister's softball games, just spending time together, just her and I. It comes the last night before we leave, and I'm a wreck. She didn't notice the whole day, but I was a wreck the whole day. We went shopping, we did lunch, and we came back. Her parents, all the softball girls went out to dinner. Her parents went with them because their parents were the chaperones. We order a pizza in, we sit in, we just hang out. Parents come back. She's talking to her mom and grandmother. I go out on the porch with her dad or the balcony with her dad and grandpa, and I'm like, Mike, today's the day. I'm gonna do it today. He goes, are you sure? Are you ready? Are you sure this is what you want to do? This is a lifelong commitment. I said, Mike, this is it. This is the time. So he goes, all right, I'm proud of you. Good luck. So we go down to the beach, start walking. Walk about a mile down the beach, turn around, start walking back. And the whole time it's in my left pocket. So I'm keeping her on my right side. And when we turn, most people just turn and, just switch hands, holding hands. Nope, I had to switch whole sides. She's oblivious. She didn't even notice. So, we get about halfway back. I'm like, all right, let's just sit down and talk a little bit. So we sit down and I'm like, okay, well, we start talking about life. I'm like, okay, we have to finish school first, and before anything serious can happen, this is where our life needs to be. And she goes, I know, I understand completely. Still not expecting it, thinking I'm like trying to push her off and be like, listen, I don't want to do it right now. we had been talking about getting married. I mean, we've been dating for 3 years at this point, and so we both love each other, both know we're gonna get married to each other, but we had talked about just, you know, waiting a little bit, and I could not wait. So we get up to go back to the hotel or the place we were staying, and she stands up. I'm getting butterflies just talking about it. She stands up, and I stay down on one knee and pull the ring out and ask her to marry me. I don't think I even got the words out, and she was bawling in my arms already. Obviously, she said yes, and we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing. So that's kind of how we got engaged. We got back upstairs, and we show her mom's down with the girls in the softball, so we show her dad and grandpa, and we walk out there, and dad goes, so do you have something to tell me? And obviously she shows him the ring, and first time anybody had seen the ring except for my mom. My mom saw it right before I left, and unfortunately they couldn't come down. They were gonna come down, but before I told them I was going to ask Haley to marry me down there, they had made other plans and canceled. So, you know, everybody's happy. We go downstairs to show her mom, and of course she's in a room full of softball teenagers, and so they're all screaming, and I love Lisa to death, but that's Haley's mom, but she just was like, oh, okay, and then just kept on going. It was kind of funny thinking back, but at the time it was like, oh, okay, obviously she didn't want this to happen, but she was just stressed out trying to get all the girls packed and ready to go. And of course, you know, I told Mike didn't tell her, so Haley's dad Mike, and it was awesome. So now we've been together 3.5 years. Today is November 5th, our anniversary is May 5th, 2015, so it's 3.5 years. We got engaged on 4/10/15. So we're coming up on a year engaged and 4 years dating, and I'm just telling you, man, it's been the best 4 years of my life, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with her. So that's kind of my side of it. I'm sure Haley will do a video of her side at some point, especially when she sees this. I just kind of wanted to share it with you and show you who we are, and kind of explain where we're coming from in life. And you know, it's the beginning of our adventure with you guys, but we've started our adventure a couple of years ago, and this is just the next step into making our life together. So yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy.